As parents, we all want to protect our children and keep them as safe as possible. However, accidents and illnesses are a part of life. One of the things that we can do as parents is make the home and outside world as safe as possible. And one of the easiest ways of doing this is having a first aid box that contains all the things that you might possibly need. So today I'm going to tell you exactly what's in my first aid box and how to help you get yours ready. So my first aid box is this, big enough to have everything in there. And I'm going to talk you through all of the essential items that you need to have in it. So in your first aid box, you need basic dressings, ointments and creams and medications, and it's best to keep them all in one place. When your child hurts themselves or they're unwell, we're usually in panic mode. We don't want to be thinking where everything is. So if you have it all together in one safe place, then you know exactly where everything is. So the first thing that I have are plasters or band-aids, different shapes and different sizes. I also suggest having some alcohol wipes just in case you're out and about and you need to keep the area clean. The next thing are different sizes and assortments of bandages. This is quite good if the cut or the graze is a little bit bigger and you want to keep the area clean. I also have some cotton wool, sterile cotton wool, so there's no bacteria or germs on there, and some bandages as well. It's good to keep some sterile solution that you can clean the area with, especially if the cut is a little bit more substantial. Steri Strips. So these are good for those slightly larger cuts that don't need suturing and they don't need any glue, but you want them to heal nicely. You can just put some Steri Strips over them, bring the areas together so it's much easier to heal. So in our first aid box, we also need some creams and ointments. The three important ones are some antiseptic cream that you can put over the cut, graze, bite, anything really. Some antibiotic cream if you feel that the cut may get infected. You may need to have this prescribed by your doctor or by your pharmacist. And then I also keep some hydrocortisone cream, which is great if you've got a little one with lots of bites, if you've been out and about or you've been on holiday. So those are the essential items that you need, but I also keep medicines in here as well. And this is really important when you're on holiday. So the important medications that you need in your first aid box are age-appropriate paracetamol and Nurofen. Paracetamol is acetaminophen. There are different types, so Damol, Panadol, Calpol, they're all the same. My youngest is only 2, so I have liquid paracetamol and Nurofen. And then for younger babies, you may need to have some sterile syringes as well, so you can measure out the correct amount. Always check and make sure you give them an age-appropriate dose, and make sure you're aware of how often and how frequent you can give the medications. For holidays, I always recommend that you have some oral rehydration sachets. Diarrhea is one of the common illnesses that you can pick up when you're traveling. You don't want to ruin your holiday by not having the appropriate medication. So some diarrhea sachets, Repelite sachets, or whatever you use in your country, always worth having a box of them with you. Because I live in the tropics, I always carry around some mosquito spray. It needs to be one that contains DEET because they're the ones that work the best. Patches and things like that don't really work very well to protect your little ones. And a thermometer. I always recommend having an ear thermometer, and then for babies that are less than 3 months of age, I would recommend that you take their temperature using an underarm auxiliary thermometer. I don't recommend rectal thermometers or thermometers that go on the forehead because rectal thermometers can cause trauma and the ones that go on the forehead are not very accurate. So that's everything that's in my first aid box. Always ensure that you keep your first aid box secure and out of the reach of children. If your child is injured, always try and stay calm. I know it can be difficult, but the more calm you are, the calmer your child will be. Do basic first aid at home, and then for more serious injuries, call for medical help immediately. We can't predict the future and we can't always protect our little ones. By being prepared beforehand, we can make things so much easier. I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.